Well, that's probably a reason why I'm not a body man. I don't like to do it. I don't have the patience for it. You know, getting metal to look perfectly smooth is not something that I have any knack for whatsoever. Mike can. I was over at his house the other day, and he had welded up a rusty spot on the rat rod, and he made it look like it like it had brand new, came from the factory. I just don't have that talent. I used to be a lacquer man in an antique furniture restoration operation, and I was pretty good with wood. I could, of course, I was getting paid by the hour, so I could stand there and sand on something all day long, and didn't bother me none. I was getting paid, you know. But something about doing this, just I don't know, makes me tired. Anyway, it's pretty smooth. If you look at it from this angle, I like it pretty well. You can see the original dents in it, which I had filled these dents, but everywhere I filled them, it came out looking like that. And I don't like that. It looks like it's got putty in it. And I suppose if you stood there with a fine piece of sandpaper and sanded it and wet sanded it and sanded it and wet sanded it, after a while, you'd make that look all nice and smooth and pretty. But kind of like I said, I don't really have the patience for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to lightly sand it with some really fine sandpaper. I'm going to coat it again, let it dry, coat it again, let it dry. Honey Baby's already been out here, looked at it 2 or 3 times and said, "Honey, it's good enough." I think what she's really saying is, let's hurry up and get this back in the kitchen. I want to see it in there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spray it till I run out of primer and sand it between coats, and then take her back in the kitchen and put a coat of shiny paint on it and take it back in the kitchen there, and get a hold to Stan, get him to come letter it, and then I'll start thinking about what I want to do for a top for it. I'm going to put the old countertop back on it to start with, and then what we'll do is I'll run to town and get some plywood, and I'll make a new top, and then we'll probably make that new top out of plywood and use it for a while, and then I'll get some tile and I'll tile that. So it's a process, but it's coming along. One thing I really like about this primer, this last primer I bought, it really dries quick. I just sprayed it on there, and it's already touchably dry. Back when we used to work in the furniture shop, it wouldn't be much drier than that, and I'd be taking a piece of like 1000 grit sandpaper and going over it, and that might be exactly what I'm about to do right now.